Welcome to the CTA Foundation CES interview series. My name's Steve Ewell. I'm Executive Director of the Consumer Technology Association Foundation, and I'm really pleased to be joined today by Sarah Hill, who is the CEO and Chief Storyteller of Healium. Welcome, Sarah.
Steve, it's great to be here. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to share.
Well, I'm really excited to talk about all the work you're doing. We had the chance to meet actually at CES 2019 when you were one of the winners of our pitch contest that we did with AARP Innovation Labs. And I've just been really thrilled to see how Healium has continued to grow and all the great work that you're doing. But if anyone's not familiar with Healium, can you give us a little bit of an overview of what the product is?
Sure. Healium is a virtual stress management platform. It's a virtual human performance product in virtual and augmented reality that's uniquely powered by your body's electricity. So anything that captures data, smartwatch, an EEG brain sensing headband, we can allow you to control these virtual worlds. It's a clinically validated solution that downshifts the nervous system in as little as 4 minutes. And right now, this is the Stress Olympics. Not everyone has trained for it. And so Healium is a drugless, non-harmful coping mechanisms that allow people in areas of acute situational confined stress, athletes, people who've had a bad day, that maybe perhaps they've just lost their job. It gives them some virtual peace and a virtual vacation to instantly be someplace else. It's a walk in the park for people right now who can't take a walk in the park.
Wow. And these days, that is such an important piece to be able to allow people to have that virtual experience and bring much more than just your typical virtual experience to the table. But you actually, have a really interesting background to move into this space. You were working in news and reporting for a long time. What inspired you to create this product?
Yeah, so I'm a former television journalist for about 20 years, covered a lot of trauma, rapes, murders, homicides. We went in with the trauma teams in the aftermath of the tsunami in Sri Lanka and Indonesia. And ultimately, that media diet that I was choosing to consume ultimately made me sick. And so developed Healium for me after an inability to sleep and panic attacks. And it was, selfishly a tool for me, as well as the hundreds of millions of people who struggle with anxiety. And so people right now, particularly, in this mental health emergency that we're in, where calls to mental health hotlines have doubled, are looking for drugless, non-harmful coping mechanisms that allow them to be somewhere else, even just for a few minutes. So Healium really is positive fiber to your media diet. And also it's a reminder that our thoughts have power, our heart rate has power, and that we do have the ability to control things, not only in the virtual world, but also in the real world as well.
Well, and one of the communities that you've been doing a lot of work with is working with the honor flights and programs, helping connect veterans. I just think that's incredibly important work that you're doing. Can you share a little bit of how you're working with the veteran community and enabling them to experience Helium?
Yeah, and it's not just me. We have a great group of volunteers. So part of our company's social purpose is a program called Honor Everywhere. And we formed the Honor Flight Hub in Central Missouri many years ago. It's flown thousands of veterans to see their memorials on physical flights to Washington, D.C. But sadly, right now, in the wake of COVID and even before COVID, these 80 and 90-year-old men and women, their bodies are just too frail for physically travel. And the origins of our company were going and giving these virtual tours to veterans in assisted living centers and nursing homes. They were on too much oxygen and couldn't travel with their oxygen tanks to see the World War II, Vietnam, Korean memorials. And so we would bring virtual reality goggles to them, and still do to this day, and allow them to feel like they're at the memorial, even though they're not able to physically travel there. And so these are virtual honor flights. They are not in any way a replacement for the physical honor flights, which are the best experience for the veterans. But for the ones who are terminal, the ones who their bodies just aren't able to sustain, real physical flight. And specifically now that all of those honor flights are grounded with COVID, we needed some virtual solutions. So we developed first in augmented reality. We were live streaming augmented reality and being the arms and legs of the veterans in those nursing homes. And through that, developed a virtual reality program, and now have 2 free virtual reality and augmented reality apps. They're free downloads on the iOS, Android, and Oculus and Pico Goblin stores. And you can open up a portal just on your mobile device in your own living room or in the veteran's bedroom. You can teleport through that portal, and they're in the World War II, Korea, Vietnam Women's Memorial, and also can take a virtual trip to the USS Nimitz out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and actually watch some of the jets take off from the flight deck there. So these are short experiences, just a taste of what they would get with the real and better honor flight programs. And there are 150 honor flight hubs around the nation that do amazing work, and would encourage everyone out there, if they're looking at a great thing to support and donate to, check out your local honor flight hub. You can find a list of those chapters at honorflight.org. They're doing very important work, and we're just trying to support that by providing these free virtual and augmented reality experiences for those vets.
Oh, well, but I think that is so important that you're able to do that. And you're working with a charity as far as being able to bring these programs to as many veterans as possible. So if any of our watchers wanted to help support reaching more veterans, do you have the information on the charity where they could go to support?
Yeah. So here in Central Missouri, we're at centralmissourihonorflight.org. Or if you just go to your own honor flight, if you want to donate to your own honor flight hub, go to honorflight.org, look up what chapter that is, and then you can do that to them. We are losing these vets at a rate of more than 100 a day, and sadly, these men and women aren't going to get the opportunity to see it in person. And so this is one way that they can see it. Also, if you have virtual reality goggles, specifically like an Oculus Go, you have Pico Goblin headsets that you're not using. Those hubs could use those headsets in order to allow those veterans to see their memorials. So definitely get in touch with me. And we would love to take those headsets that you're not using and allow those veterans something that they've wanted for a long time probably, and will not get the opportunity to see it in person.
Well, that it's such an important program, so I'm glad we have a chance to highlight that a little bit. I do want to, take a step back and focus in on some of the business as well. You mentioned earlier on, obviously, this year has been a challenging year for all of us, quite frankly. How have you seen? I mean, you launched this business really, 2 years ago, and have continued to grow it. How has this year really impacted your ability to get out and reach as many people with Helium?
Yeah. So, sadly, as I mentioned, since this is a mental health emergency, and since everyone's stress has been ramped up with all of the uncertainty, from a business perspective, business is going well for us. However, it isn't for a lot of people, particularly in the consumer electronics industry. And, we recognize that. Helium is being deployed to some of those areas of acute situational confined stress, to the front lines for nurses, for compassion fatigue. These nurses who haven't seen vacations for months and months, are in a broom closet with Helium. They're going to their cars and taking these goggles and allow them, to have a bit of virtual peace. Teachers are using it. It's incredibly stressful for teachers right now. People in the construction industry, people who are working remotely and have not seen vacations for months and months. They can open up a portal on their mobile device. They can be on a beach in New Zealand. They can float through a nebula in space, and just get a visual reminder, and also some tools to help them learn to self-regulate. But I think going forward for, digital health, digiceuticals, digital therapeutics, which the CTA has done great work to establish standards for and also awareness for. I think we'll see a greater emphasis on that post 2020 because of the greater emphasis on mental fitness. People are now recognizing that you can't just exercise your body, you also need to exercise your mind. And really, when it comes to protecting our frontline healthcare workers or any worker in general, it's not just physical hygiene anymore. We know that stress can absolutely reduce your immunity and stress can make you sick. And so these are mental health hygiene products, not just Healium, but the variety of digiceuticals, VRceuticals, ARceuticals, whatever you want to call them, are going to play a very key role in going forward in allowing people to downshift their nervous system in a drugless way.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, the CTA Foundation for a number of years has been focused on issues along the lines of addressing social isolation and some of the challenges in that space. But we have certainly seen the increase in just stress and isolation in just, dealing with the pandemic of the past year and seeing far greater awareness. And I think this is really going to change the way we move forward. And I think there's such opportunities for technologies like yours to help us address some of these challenges. So thank you for all the great work that you're doing in this space.
Well, thank you. The CTA has really built a community for us, not only a community of standards, but a community of fellow industry companies. And ultimately, you don't just need one digiceutical in your medicine cabinet, you need a variety of different ones. So the opportunities that collaboration has opened up for us and the ability to get together in a collective conversation to ensure not only that the products are safe, but the data is protected, and that it's built in tandem with the hardware providers. That's a really unique relationship for us, that has made our products better and those other companies' products better. So certainly want to thank CTA for that.
Oh, well, thank you. I really appreciate it. And it's really the members like yourself that help drive everything forward and do such great innovation. Speaking of innovations, beyond the work that you're doing with Healium, I'd love to, we're talking around CES 2021, all digital CES, but are there emerging technologies out there that have you excited as you're kind of looking for the future, personal interest or business?
Absolutely. We are highly interested with the new wearables that are coming out on the market and also the contactless wearables that allow you to measure biometric information without having even a piece of hardware device strapped to your skin. So there are stickers that are measuring important skin conductance, blood pressure, all of that data. And ultimately, Healium is built around data, built around not just having that data sequestered to your wrist, but setting it out into the world, personifying it as a jaguar or a solar system and allowing you to control it. So we are super excited about going through those virtual booths next year and beyond, and seeing the new wearables. And that's always an event where we get the ability to peer around the corner and see what's next. And that experience absolutely informs our future products. So number one, wearables. We're also very excited about the convergence of not only 5G and the rise of wearables. You have this happening in the aftermath of the opioid epidemic, where a lot of these drugless solutions are coming into prominence. Combine that with the mental health emergency and the rise of telehealth in the aftermath of COVID. So it's very fascinating to see how these telehealth companies, how these wearable companies, how they are innovating. And I absolutely, am excited to get that opportunity to peer around the corner at the event coming up.
Well, great. Well, and we always appreciate your participation there. If people are interested in learning more about Helium as well as where to get the product, where would you direct them?
Yeah, so helium is spelled like healing, but it's Healium. So if you go to try Helium, try Healium.com, you can get more information. You can look at all of our peer reviewed journals. We have 4 peer reviewed journals. And if you'd like to contact us personally, we'd love a conversation with you. Just go to hello@tryhelium.com. We're always looking for research partners, sales channel partners, and also too people who can help us with our social purpose, which is honor everywhere. So if you know an aging a veteran, definitely tell them about that free virtual program that allows them to virtually visit their memorials, and we'd be happy to answer any questions about that as well.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for the work that you and the whole Helium team are doing, both with creating new innovative products as well as really, helping connect people in need, and helping them address some of the challenges that we've all faced. Well, we've been facing, but certainly have been called to greater attention over the last year. So thank you so much for all the work that you're doing. For others watching, if you'd like to learn more about the CTA Foundation, you can go to ctafoundation.tech. So thank you.